Now for something completely different.
Smoke
medical
weed every day.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour represent Brian Hoppe and Facet. Listener discretion is advised.
Live from Tampa Bay, you are tuned in to Hoppe Hour.
He's the voice of a generation that got screwed by the baby boomers. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour starts in 4, 3, 2, Hoppe. Hoppe, Hoppe. This is Hoppe Hour with Hoppe.
Pharaoh, we need to have a talk.
Talk to me, man.
You work in nightclubs, correct?
I do.
Do you think bouncers are getting a little bit too much power?
Yo, oh my God.
The bouncer game, I gotta tell you, but first I want you to answer for me. Do bouncers have too much power?
They do. They do.
So I was at a dive bar in St. Pete, and this bouncer, man, I get that you want to make sure that guns don't go inside the place or anything. She's like patting me down, and the DJ was like, yeah, he's good to go in. And she's got like face tattoos and that, and it's like, relax. You're making $18 an hour to pat people down. I don't know if it's like an authority trip, Pharaoh, you know what I'm saying? But there's definitely a vibe to it where it's like, who do you think you are? You're not a cop. It's the same thing as being a mall cop. It's the same thing as being a security guard. It's like this false sense of power.
Listen, I've had my fair share of trouble with security guards, even in my own clubs.
Yeah.
And it's happened literally in less than 2 months ago. They just have this certain type of power trip where, like you said, they are getting paid, $18, $20, max $25 an hour. And they feel like they're like special operations.
Oh, for sure.
Military type of security when it's...
You're at a nightclub in Tampa Bay. You're not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and it sucks because the security guards at the end of the day are also a face of the club.
Yes.
So they don't understand that. They don't comprehend it as an employee. They think they're just third-party employees being employed by the club. But no.
You're literally outside. It's like the promotions team of radio. You're literally representing it.
Exactly.
You're literally the face. Because when you walk in, you're right there.
Exactly.
856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-494-6773. Pharaoh, we're heard in Fort Myers with Big Mama Radio. Have you ever been to a Fort Myers nightclub?
I haven't even been to Fort Myers at all. I definitely got to visit it, but I heard I don't know. You tell me what's going on with Fort Myers.
I haven't been to Fort Myers. I was just asking you because we're heard in Fort Myers, and Babs is from there, and Tony's from there, so I know it's a party over there.
Exactly.
And those two legends literally have the party scene. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I wonder, I'm like, I think I spent too much time in Tampa. I feel like I need to see the other parts of Florida. Do you ever feel that? Sometimes I feel like I need to broaden my horizon and go to like the Fort Myers and not just Orlando and Tampa. Because we're in this little bubble and we think we're so important and then we realize we're not that important. Do you feel that? I'm having a little bit of I wouldn't say identity crisis, but I would say I'm evaluating everything lately. Not even about radio, just I'm thinking a lot because I'm on shrooms. And I'm often wondering like...
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I would never do that. Talking about I have mushrooms on my pizza is what I'm talking about. It's just, we have such an ego, bro. It's so ridiculous. It's because of social media. And I'm not trying to sound like the old man on the front lawn, but I'm becoming that. This next generation, bro, these 2000s babies, they think they all have it figured out, dog. Have you seen that? I was born in 2002, but I know everything, even though I can't tell you what happened during 9/11 because I wasn't taught it correctly in school. They think they know everything because of TikTok, because of Google, because of Wikipedia, because of ChatGPT. It's sad, man. When I was 19 or 20, I was begging to learn because I knew I didn't know anything. I was aware. Were you aware at 20 or did you think you knew everything? Because I'm telling you, I'm not trying to sound like the old man on the front lawn. I'm not trying to be Grandpa Simpson. But I'm just saying there's something in the water where these kids, man, they think they know everything, dog. You don't know anything. You're 20. I don't know anything. I'm 30.
I think we all had that problem when we were young in high school. You know, we're hanging out with big cliques.
Yeah.
We thought we knew everything. We all got our information from YouTube, Instagram, pretty much MySpace when I was growing up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and and Facebook. So that pretty much gave us the we know more than our parents type of vibe. But I do agree nowadays, 2023, Generation X is horrible because they are literally the worst younger generation that I feel like
Gen X or Gen Z?
Gen Z, I apologize. Gen Z.
I was about to say Gen X is pretty bad too.
Yeah, no.
They give no opportunities to millennials because they're afraid to give up their power.
Man, it's just rough. But overall, yeah, they're just...
And then boomers are like, we're about to die and we ruined everything. Bye. Have fun for the next up to 70 years. We had the privileged life of the 80s. If the 80s was so great, go back to it. If the 80s was so amazing, why isn't the 80s going on now? Oh, that's right, because it wasn't sustainable because you guys fucked everything up.
We were just talking about how we would have rather grew up making 25 cents a day than the 11, 12 we make.
I know. It's ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous? I saw this trend. I post our reels that do very well. I post them on TikTok, and then I delete TikTok because TikTok makes me very angry. And have you seen the 9/11 TikTok trend?
No, I haven't. What's going on?
So it's this skit where it's like a family sitting in their front room, like watching football or something, and 9/11 all of a sudden comes on TV. The misinformation of how 9/11 happened, it's not even been 25 years. And these Gen Z kids don't know that it was at like 9 in the morning when we were all in school, or if we were at home and began school later. This wasn't at dinner time. These TikTokers think it happened at like 7 o'clock. We have done a horrible job of keeping the legacy alive known as 9/11. It's nothing more than something in the past. It's sad. I've heard from my little cousins that are now 19 and 17 that they were trigger warning the kids and barely teaching them about 9/11 growing up. Because you got to think, if they're born in 04 and 07, they weren't here for 9/11. Why did we have to go through all the terror of 9/11 and all the awfulness of 9/11? Especially, I was in Chicago, and I was afraid that we were going to get hit, the Sears Tower. Where were you during 9/11? Because I feel like we got to experience all the terror, and now, like, I'm not saying a 9/11 joke's ever funny, but you can make a joke about anything. You can make a joke. But when you're making skits about misinformation of how 9/11 went down, bro, we failed. We failed. Humans failed.
What was I doing during 9/11? I was actually in New York. I was about 6 to 7 years old. I was in second grade.
Me too.
First, second grade. And I don't think I knew English. That's a big fun fact right there. I don't think I knew English. I had just came from...
when did you learn English?
I learned English in New York, and I learned English probably like from that time on. It took me about like 3 or 4 years. You know, I was young, so it was easier to grasp.
Damn. You speak very well for that.
Yeah, I mean, I had mostly American friends my whole life. Only when I came back here to Tampa was when I started getting to my Spanish side.
Yes.
And but over there I was in a small town called Mount Kisco, all up in the mountains. It was named after an Indian.
Damn, I thought you were from here.
No.
When did you move here?
I moved here actually when I came here from Colombia. I came to Miami to my aunt's. Then I moved to New York because my mom had a friend over there. And I can honestly say it was probably one of the best childhoods somebody could have in a small town. It was like kind of like those small towns you see like in a movie, one movie theater, one little pizza place.
Yes.
It was a great community, and the snow is just a whole fascinating thing.
How much of the snow did you experience? At all?
Yeah, I mean, I lived there at least 4 or 5 years, and I got to experience it. And I could honestly say, yes, you can get tired of it, but just having the experience of snow, it's unbelievable. I'm
good with snow. I don't need to ever see it again. I hate it. I had to you got to remember, I'm in Chicago, so we get like 18 inches of snow, and then You'd have to shovel and have a bad back and da-da-da. And you see this little, how my tooth is chipped?
Yeah.
I was drunk as hell at like 19 and I slipped on some black ice. I thought it was just the sidewalk and I fell on my tooth. So then it was like 5 degrees out and I was walking from my friend's house. I lived at the other block. This is in like 2013. And I had to sleep in the car and it was like freezing because I was afraid to go inside. And I told my mom that I went jogging and I slipped. And my dad's like, you don't ever jog. so
you got caught lying.
Yeah, but he didn't really care. He didn't ever really care. Like he was there and he was fine, but I was annoying as a kid, bro. All I wanted to do was like go on Pornhub and watch Family Guy. I was like the horniest kid ever. I mean, it's not changed. I'm a slut. I mean, where do you think it came from?
Yeah, man, that's Ryan Hoppe for you. So tell us about this security guard that's gotten a little too frisky.
It was just my experience at a bar in downtown St. Pete. It was the power. I got denied at this bar. I went there 3 weeks ago, and then I went there last week. And when I got denied 3 weeks ago, it was like this black guy with dreads, and he's like, nah, you're too drunk to get in. Now, was I sober, Pharaoh? No. I was turned. But I wasn't like turned. Like I was manageable, and I just wanted to see my guy 25 cents. And they didn't let me in. And I was like, oh, all right. So I went home and I got Joey Brooklyn's pizza. I went to bed. I went to this place last week and it was this female. And she looked like Adam 22, but as a female. And she had tattoos everywhere and she had long, like blonde hair and looked like she hadn't showered in 10 years. And she was just rude to everybody. I was like, this is a dive bar. This isn't a 1701 or something classy. It's literally a dive bar where I can get 2 Red Bull and vodkas in a small cup for $12. This is a cheap bar.
Yeah.
The amount I spent for 3 drinks, it would cost me 1 drink. It'd be 1 drink at a nice club. Shut up. This is a dive bar that's squishy.
So you're saying that the security guard pretty much thought you were a little over the limit?
The first time, not the female one.
Okay, so the female one
let me in. The guy with dreads was like, nah, you're not coming in. I was like, I'm not that drunk. I'm not sober. Again, I couldn't drive. I don't drive. I take Ubers. But I'm saying I wasn't like, You remember like at 1701 when I was lit and I was just casual? Remember last month when I came by?
Yeah. You were smoking on your pen, taking a couple shots.
Hell yeah.
You were groovy.
Thank you. Perfect way to describe it. I was groovy when I was trying to go to this dive bar. I wasn't anything bad. Trust me. In my early 20s, I was bad, bro. Bad.
So you're saying you were a bad drinker, or
yes,
you're even a bigger slut than you are right now?
I'm not a slut, Pharaoh. What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Why the hell do you think I'm a slut? What is it implying in your mind, Pharaoh? Pharaoh? What's implying that I'm a slut?
I know you. I know whenever you step out, you got a couple shots in you, you turn into super slut Hoppe.
You know what made me into a slut, but I didn't bring a girl home, but I would have been ready? Usually, if I don't bring a girl home, which I've actually never picked up a girl from a bar and brought her home. Bumble. Girls will come over or I'll go on dates or whatever, but I've never, ever picked up a girl at a bar and gotten her to go back to my apartment, which is fine. A lot of guys make it seem easier. I personally have not done it, but I'm telling you, I'm not trying to give out too much information, but literally my whole life is online. I don't care. I had so much tequila on Friday. I had so much tequila.
This last Friday?
Oh my God, I had so much tequila. Man, no wonder girls drink tequila before they go through their phase. I'm telling you right now, I was so horny on tequila, bro. I was ready to just have sex. Now, unfortunately, I had to resort to Pornhub, but I'm telling you, bro, what's in that tequila? I had so much tequila. My friend had a bottle. I was just making Red Bull and tequilas and that, bro. I was ready to go. You could have just put me in a room with 90 women and I would have had fun. I was ready, dog. I was all fired up.
Is this what led you to end up with the MILF, or is this?
I didn't end up with a MILF. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That was the other night. What I'm telling you is I now get why women drink tequila. I get it. It makes you frisky. It makes you kind of dangerous. It makes you kind of wild. You never know where you're going to go on tequila. Vodka makes you numb. Makes you just feel kind of faded. Dude, I'm a tequila fan now.
Well, that's good because Hennessy makes you angry. It makes you think about all the times.
And it makes you want to like talk shit. It makes you want to run your mouth.
Yeah, it makes you think about the times you got cheated on or got done wrong, or it reminds you of when your homeboy did you dirty.
I was thinking about the other day. I was like, I think I got cheated on. Like when you like realize after the fact, like even if it's just emotionally cheated and not like sexual, I was like, whatever. Jordan lost. I'm pretty fucking great. But you go, I got cheated on. You want to know why I got cheated on? You don't want to know how I got cheated on? I went to the gay pride parade last year, and I was told, I'm going to go talk to other girls, but you can watch. I just need to talk to girls. That's cheating. That's cheating.
I mean, what kind of talking was she like? Was it like
flirting?
Oh,
and
like,
the girls were
full blown though?
Yeah. And a girl wanted to have a threesome, but I wasn't allowed to have sex with the girl. Come on now. That's why I'm single now. Come on now. What are we doing here? Dude, the world's crazy. Had a fascinating conversation the other day with this girl I hooked up with in February. It's hilarious. So,
you know, when you laugh like that, I know what type of sick piece of shit you are.
Why am I a sick piece of shit, Farrah?
And that's why I rock with you and I love you, dude. But go on.
Okay. There's this girl that lives in Dade City. Like bald, kind of like Amber Rose bald, but like a baddie, but lives in Dade City and never leaves her apartment.
Oh, so we're talking about, is Dade City where like San Leo is?
It's like where San Antonio is up there. It's the middle of nowhere. By like, it's in like Hernando County. It's bumblefuck. Nothing's going on there but sex.
North Florida.
Yeah.
It's definitely by San Leo, and there's a lot of good looking women up there. But continue.
And we hooked up February, and I was working morning radio at the time, so I was.
Of course, you hooked up. Of course.
I was tired. I had been up since 4 a.m. That used to be my excuse for just hating my life when I was doing sports radio. I'd been up since 4 a.m. and I drove like an hour to go to her place. And I didn't really bring the fire because like I was sad at that time. I wasn't completely over my breakup. Like, you know when you go through a breakup and you're having sex with a girl that's now your ex and you're like, this isn't my ex. And then you're like kind of like feeling it. But then there's that moment when you hook up with somebody and then you're like, oh yeah, this isn't my ex. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm putting out there?
Yes. That women, never mind.
Well, yeah, I like this. I'm training you to be politically. Yes, I figured it out. Figured out how to make you politically correct while being a shock jock. So I hooked up with this girl, but I had a little bit of whiskey dick without whiskey just because I was tired. So I messaged her the other day. I'm like, hey, what's up? So we talk, and she's like, I'm busy tonight, but let's FaceTime. So I FaceTime her. Now you got to remember, I haven't seen her in 8 months. She goes, oh yeah. And this is me quoting her, so I'm not being offensive. Because I don't like to use derogatory words. This isn't really derogatory. She goes, I'm just figuring out my life. Everybody kind of goes through a hoe phase.
Wow. So remind me, this is the woman you were having intercourse with?
Like 8 months ago.
Okay. That's exactly my point. Women, y'all are out of hand these days.
And the projecting, she was like, and all you do is go to Kava bars. I'm like, yeah, because I'm working on my brand. When you're telling me, how do I word it? Men out there, and I guess this could go with women, you got to really listen to what people say in conversations. Because in conversations, people say who they are. Like if somebody tells you you're low on the totem pole or whatever, in some place in their life, if it's their marriage or how they feel about themselves, they're low on the totem pole. If you're around successful people that are genuinely wanting you to be successful, and I'm not saying that you can't be through a hoe phase and not be successful, because there's plenty of successful hoes like me. But I'm saying when you're literally telling people, but you're not telling people, like I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of a slut. You know? Sorry. I like being in relationships. I like doing that too. But you can't trust anybody out there. You can't.
Yeah, but don't say kind of. You're fully.
No, I'm kind of. How am I fully a slut?
Listen, I feel like when it's a Friday night.
Tell me, Pharaoh.
Listen, when it's a Friday night, it's about 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I can just imagine you getting out of bed, smoking a little bowl.
What are you talking about? I don't smoke weed.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Allegedly. And when you walk out that door, you have the slut uniform on.
What's the slut uniform for a man?
For you is a slut uniform where you're gonna be on the clock till you get back home. So you're on go.
Because you've seen me at the club. I pregame before I leave. I drink a bottle of wine before I go.
That's the worst thing you could do. If you mix if you mix wine with liquor,
hell yeah,
that is demon time,
dude. Speaking of demon time, I had a 2-day hangover. I haven't had a 2-day hangover since high school,
bro. I'm sorry, but I love wine. If you don't drink wine, ladies and gentlemen,
it makes you horny.
You need to get right.
Oh, but you. So when I was in a relationship last year, this is me opening up. This is therapy time. I was drinking a little bit because I hated my job. So I was drinking during the week and that. So then I went through this whole phase in August last year where I'm like, I'm never drinking again and whatever. I've gotten back into it, but responsibly just on Friday and Saturdays, not during the week. I'm telling you, Mom or anybody, if you're listening, I didn't drink this much. This is all a joke. I had a bottle of wine, you know, those big ones. I had that. Had 2 Red Bull and vodkas. And I had like 4 shots, Jack and Coke, and then a Jolly Rancher vodka drink.
Yeah, that sounds like a cocktail for destruction.
Dude, Sunday, they're not kidding. There's all those TikTok skits about when you turn 30, everything changes. Bro, my bed was shaking, and not because I was getting laid. That was last night. No, my head, bro. Oh my God, the hangover. I'm not a kid anymore, man. They're not joking about hangovers, dog. It's a real thing out there, bro. The hangovers. Do you get hungover? Does Pharaoh after a night of drinking? Or are you responsible where I can't even tell if you drink at your events. Like at the pool party or when I'm hanging out with you at 1701 or whatever. I can't tell. Amongst the women twerking and all the beauty that Pharaoh and his friends bring, the circus at your parties are in a good way. I can't tell if you turn up or not. Tell me.
To be honest, I love having a good time. It sucks when I'm doing it when I hate drinking and turning up when it's actually my event because I feel like I want to be in my 10 senses because something is going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Whether it be a question, a concern. Most of the time when I'm doing an event, I'm the guy that the owner of either the venue, the house, or the situation is talking to. I try to keep my best professionalism on.
I like that because booze, there's no professionalism. When you're turned up, you're done.
At all. So obviously, I love when I don't work, like Fridays. Fridays are the days that I actually go out, have a good time, get effed up, and I can actually enjoy people's events and me have a good time. But when you come see me at my events, and to be honest, it really has been a downfall because a lot of my friends are like, dude, like, you know, like we want to party with you, but we know every time that we go to your event,
you're in the zone.
You're in a whole different spectrum that we're in.
Yes.
You know, so we can't catch a vibe because you're not even catching the vibe. You're trying to control it. So
that's deep. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah. But other than that, man, I love getting drunk. I feel like I love getting drunk. I've always loved getting drunk. It brings a good side out of you. It has brought a bad side out of me too.
Yeah.
But you know,
that's called being a millennial.
Yeah.
Do you think we partied too much in our 20s? I was talking to somebody recently about it. I feel like the Jersey Shore era and the party era and LMFAO, party rock and all that, I feel like we partied a little bit too much in our 20s. Now that my 20s are over and I'm evaluating everything, you think we partied too much? Or was it YOLO and we're fine?
You're saying that we did party too much?
Yes.
Nah, I don't.
Our body counts are a little too high, everything.
I mean, I used to go out Monday through Sunday. I remember when, I don't know if you ever.
How old were you when you were doing that Monday through Sunday partying? Jesus
I was about
Christ.
21,
Sounds about
22.
Right. Sounds about right.
My God, it was a good time. I would never.
I want to go back to 2016, 2015. Man, 2015 partying when like not that many people were in Florida, bro. Were you here in 2015?
I was here in 2015.
Bro. It wasn't that crowded, but it was crowded. But crowded in a good way. It was debaucherous in a good way because it was people, we were all in our early 20s. That might have been the key and I'm having a crisis. But I'm telling you, there was something about before all the outsiders moved here. It was like between, Farrell, you can tell me if I'm right, between October through March, this was our area. And then spring break would happen. And then the people would be here through the summer. But like the Halloween parties and the Thanksgiving parties and the Christmas parties and the New Year's parties and February through March. And it was like the out-of-towners came in March and April. And then they were here at their summer homes through the summer and on vacation or whatever. But it was like our Bay Area. And now I feel like the out-of-towners are always here. Always. Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from Chicago. But I moved here before it was cool. I don't even feel like I know Chicago. I went there last month, bro. Did a whole rant about it. I can't relate to the city. It's not me. This is me. The Bay Area, this is me. It's you. We're the Bay Area. All these people, I'm not saying don't move here, but you move here and all the prices go up and it's like, we're the ones that were loyal to this area. If you thought it was so cool to move here, should have moved here 7 years ago. Sorry, you live in a liberal city where there's high taxes and whatever, but don't come here and ruin our time with your traffic and your snotty attitude. Shut the fuck up. I'm not saying you have to like Ron DeSantis, but if you're moving here and you're just talking crap about our politicians, about our state, get out. This is our Florida.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Something I've been thinking about recently. Like all these people are coming, Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is the reason I had fun during COVID. Yeah, he probably sucks as a politician. But you know what? He's ours. He's ours. By the way.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's ours.
I agree. But I don't like him at all. But I like him because he's ours. He's our maniac. He's our antisocial sociopath. By the way, I'm done with politics, bro. Did you hear what Joe Biden did?
I did not, but I did hear a snippet from Shriner, who's one of our wonderful people inside the building.
Yeah, Shriner's awesome. What did you hear from Shriner?
He kind of put me, in the loop that apparently
tell me what
Biden's son is being indicted. Is that what's going on?
Well, that's one of the things. But so 9/11 was 22 years ago. And for the last 22 years, you've had the president on site in New York. If it was Bush, if it was Obama or Trump, they were on site. I don't know if Biden was there last year or not. Guess where Biden was this year on 9/11? The worst day to happen in our modern history.
Let me guess. Alaska.
How did you know?
I heard he's a POS.
He is a piece of shit. Here's the annoying part. I talked about it on Twitter, and I'll play the audio in a second. This mother effer is claiming that he visited New York the next day after the 9/11 attacks, but in his book, he said he was in Washington, D.C. So he was probably in Wyoming with his car, that piece of lying fucking shit. And here's what's annoying, is I bring it up on Twitter, and everyone's like, well, what about Trump or that? Why can't it... Enough of the what ifs or what about that person. Focus on who's in office now. You're literally lying about the most awful day to happen in our lifetime. I know there's Pearl Harbor and JFK and whatnot. But for us, this is the worst day, and you're making a fucking disgrace out of it. And you're probably a deadbeat loser. Here's why. I got to be careful with this because this is just opinions. Everybody gets so worked up. I don't vote. And when I told people that, do you vote?
I have not voted. No.
Yeah. And people are like, you got to vote. Why? Because of I have to choose between Trump or Biden? No. They're both losers. Sorry. Why can't it just be all politicians suck? The ultra liberals are glad that Biden won because he's not Trump, but they can't tell you anything good he did. When you ask an ultra liberal, what has Biden done? They go, oh, he's done a lot. And you ask them, tell me 5 things he's done. They can't tell you shit. And then all the people that go, I miss Trump. Trump wasn't that good either. But I will tell you, the one thing I admired about Trump was that he didn't stay away from the spotlight. He made it about him all the time, and he may have not been able to relate to people during tragedies, but he showed up. But this piece of fucking shit in Joe Biden didn't go to 9/11. He didn't go to the site in 2023. Why is he in Alaska? Alaska's fine, but why are you in Alaska? Because you're hiding, because you know you're going to make an embarrassment of yourself, and the whole White House is protecting you, you creep. And listen, I know Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump have probably done sketchy things, but they're well-dressed men. They're well put together. They're scumbags, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying Trump's a good father, but you look at Hunter Biden, that says something about a man. When your son is that much of a loser, it says that you're a piece of fucking shit. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done with it, bro. Because then people go, well, what about Trump? No. We're talking about Joe Biden. You want to hear our leader of the free world? He's in Anchorage, Alaska on 9/11. I'm sure Anchorage is actually fun to visit or whatever, but that's not where you are. That's not where you should be on 9/11.
I join you on this solemn day to renew our sacred vow.
He sounds like he's about to die. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like when my grandpa was at the end of his life, he talked like this. This is our president. This is who's leading the free world. Is this asswipe?
You know, it's just pretty sad. You know, when we saw Biden going for his
what?
You know, just to be a candidate, he looked healthy. He looked good. He looked like he was good for the job. And now we're 2-3 years in? Because it's next year.
Never forget. Never forget.
Even though I forgot what it was and I'm in Alaska.
We never forget. Each of us, each of those precious lives stolen too soon when evil attacked. Ground Zero in New York. And I remember standing there the next day and looking at the building. I felt like I was looking through the gates of hell.
Yeah, because you're going to go to hell even though it's not real. He wasn't there. He wasn't there. And we're accepting this. All the Gen Xers and Boomers are just fine with the fact that we have Biden and we have Trump. I don't think it's cool at all. I think it sucks. Why do we have to be subject to 2 boomers? 2 out-of-touch millionaires, billionaires? This is who's representing us. No wonder the whole world hates us. I used to hate that the other countries hated us. We deserve it. This is all we can provide is this asswipe, and we don't deserve anything. I'm sorry. And where's Kamala been?
That's a good question. Where do you think she's been?
Going down or something. Oh no, that was offensive. Yeah, that's how she got her job in San Francisco. Going down on the mayor. Not saying that's how she got famous, but I'm sure it's because of her talent. Because she's been around everywhere, right? I'm sure she's so talented. That's why we always hear from her.
It looked so devastating because from where you could stand. Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The Pentagon.
It's the way he says.
Pennsylvania.
He sounds like Eric Cartman when he's 80.
Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. I got my fake teeth and I did a lot of cocaine with my deadbeat son.
The Pentagon in Virginia. I spent many 9/11s in those hallowed grounds to bear witness and remember those we lost. Every day, but especially the last few days, their memory has been with me.
It says here, he did travel to Ground Zero on September 20th. Oh, that's good. One of the Senate, I think he was in the Senate at that time. Oh, that's good. He showed up 9 days later. I got to hang on in Wyoming. I'm so busy.
You know, it's pretty sad as an American community how we did not show the respect and as an overall nation to 9/11. I didn't really see a lot of 9/11 posts, if you ask me. Did you?
I think it's because Gen Z wasn't around for it that there's a disconnect.
But I mean, we can always point the finger on Gen Z. But what about the news? If you can make all this noise about a submarine,
yes,
you can make the same noise for the respect of the American people in 9/11. You have blog sites, you have radio, you have famous people. It's just so many different outlets that should have showed the respect to 9/11 that it's just sad to see where we're going.
So we have a lot of Gen Z that listen to our podcast, and they were not properly trained to learn about 9/11. So we're going to take a quick break, and this is Kevin Cosgrove. He was in the tower calling 9/11. Let me see how long we've talked so far. We've talked for 36 minutes. For the next 6 minutes, because usually we play a song and we do that. This is being brought to you by Mitra-9.com. Use keyword Hoppe. I'm getting all worked up. DZBZHoney.com. Use keyword Hoppe. Astro Bliss Hemp Lemonade at ASTROBLEME.com. Use keyword Hoppe. All right. Here is the audio for Gen Z out there that doesn't know anything about 9/11. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm saying you guys weren't here for it. This is what it sounded like. This is somebody that was right there.
All right, so what's the telephone number? I'm waiting for SC to pick up. What's the telephone number you're calling? You can do AC. You can do anything. 441-2623. 441-2623. Okay. It's on 105th floor, the northwest corner, right? Right. At number 2 World Trade Center. Right. Lady, there's 3 of us in this office. We're not ready to die, but it's getting bad. I understand, sir. We've been trying to get all the apparatus there. I'm trying to let them know where you are. Just hold on. Oh, please hurry. Fire Department 408. This is 15. Let me talk to the caller, PD. 1597. Let me talk to the caller. Where is he? He's on the line. Let me talk to him. Where's the fire, sir? There's smoke. Right there. 105, 2 power. All right, sit tight. We'll get to you as soon as we can. There's some staying up. The smoke's really bad, man. It's barely leave. That's all we can do. Where are you? What floor are you guys up to? We're getting there. Doesn't feel like it, man. I got young kids. I understand that, sir. We're on the way. He's on the 105th floor, the northwest corner. Yeah, no problem. Little operator? Yeah. Come on, man. Okay, we have everything, sir. I know you do, but it doesn't seem like it. You got lots of people up here. I understand. I know you got a lot in the building, but we're up on the top. Smoke rises. It's right there. We're on the floor. We're in a window. And then I have to barely breathe now. Can't see. Okay. Just try to hang it there. I'm going to stay with you. You say you're in an air-conditioned building. What the hell happened? Okay, I'm still here. He's been trying to fight apart. He's trying to get to you. Doesn't feel like it. Okay, try to calm down so you can conserve your oxygen, okay? Try to. Thank God to blow you in from the west. It's really bad. It's black. It's arid. Does anybody else want to chime in here? We're young men, we're not ready to die. I understand. How the hell are you going to get my ass down? I need oxygen. They're getting to you. They have a lot of apparatus on the team. It doesn't seem like it, lady. You get them in from all over. They get in from Jersey. I don't give a shit, Ohio. Okay, so what's your last name? Mine's Cosgrove. I must have called about a dozen times already. Cosgrove. Yeah, my wife thinks I'm all right. I called her and said I was leaving the building. I was fine, and bang. Well, I want to hold on. Yeah, Cherry. Dead Cherry, you said, right? Yeah. Dead Cherry's next to me. 105. Whose office? John Astro's office. That's what you said. That's the office. We're in John Astro's office. OST. ARU. ARU. Right. That's the office we're in. There's three of us in here. OST. ARU. Hello? Hello. We're looking at the financial center. Three of us, two broken windows. Oh, God!
Every year I listen to that. That, oh God, no. That's because that's when they fell. That was when they died, bro. The oh God, no. Look at that, because they had a simultaneous video. I'll tweet this out at Ryan Hoppe Radio. I don't think that's being taught in schools, bro. That's definitely not being shown. Because I've heard they have to do like trigger warnings. And if you're a parent and you know like how the 9/11's being taught in school, let me know. 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-494-6773. And you can email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. But I'm telling you, Pharaoh, I just don't think the kids know about that video, bro. It makes me sad because I remember in the 2000s, the whole thing was never forget, never forget, never forget, never forget. And I feel like we forgot, bro. Like, I didn't even know what to post. It's been so long. It's like, you don't want to forget about it. But I was thinking, I think if it happened now, everybody would just Facebook Live it. Like, everybody in that moment was running for their lives and was in the moment. I feel like now you would have like TikTok prankers, literally. I think people would make pranks out of it.
I mean,
I hate saying that.
I mean,
kids are punks now, bro.
Nobody even took the submarine situation serious. They're not going to take that serious.
Yeah, and they're making jokes about it on Twitter, on TikTok with that skit I told you about. I mean, come on now. Makes me very upset. Makes me sad. Makes me, I don't want to say have no hope for the future, but if we quickly forgot about 9/11, like what else are we going to forget about? Are we going to forget about COVID?
No, we'll probably forget about enslavement.
I think we already kind of have.
Oh, no, of course we were. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah. It is crazy like that. It wasn't that long ago. Everybody is like in denial about it.
I think it was less than 60 years ago. Less than 60, 70 years ago. People were being slaves.
In 1955-ish, when TV shows first began, there's a clip on YouTube of somebody who I think either they were a slave because they lived to 100 or they knew slaves and they're interviewed about it. It wasn't, people don't want to process it, but it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I think the last living slaves are probably like about 80 right now. So,
have you ever met one?
No, I mean I've seen probably like on TV and stuff like that. Like they interview them. We can go on YouTube definitely. And
it makes me it's like white guilt. I feel horrible. It's just terrible. It's like,
I mean you can't feel white guilt because you personally didn't do anything. It's more of a conscious situation that we need to speak of. A lot of people were enslaved, Not only African Americans, Jewish people were enslaved. So were people in Egypt. Slaves have been around since the beginning of time. It's just the difference is enslavement before used to happen with wars. Prisoners of war. Like they would go ahead and attack each other, and they'll take the slaves. the slave trade was just a whole different massacre that was just uncalled for, and it didn't help. Have you seen The Woman King? Have you seen that movie?
No.
You need to watch that movie.
What's it on?
It's on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix.
Oh, okay. It was definitely at the movies as well. The Woman King gives you a small, very small insight of what they were dealing with. You know, they had African tribes also working with the white colonists at that time who were helping enslave these African Americans. So, I mean, there shouldn't be a whole, white guilt situation because, yes, other tribes were helping the situation occur, but we all need to help the situation.
Back in the day, were you a Kid Ink fan?
For sure. Kid Ink was having the bangers back in the day.
So we've had a lot of emotions. We've talked about me allegedly being a slut. We've talked about 9/11. We talked about bouncers. And we didn't play a song. And sometimes people skip over the songs. Sometimes they listen to them. But I think it's a good separation. We got about 11 minutes left in the show. And I feel like I just want to play a banger. I don't want to not play a song because we didn't play a song on Wednesday's show because we had to go to the promotions meeting. Who the hell texted me? But I think we need a song. You ready for a song?
I'm ready.
Me too.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
I'm gonna stay.
Alumni.
Stay.
Bunch of beaches, bunch of pretty bitches, but don't get it twisted, wrong turn, could be missing, stay riding with the bros like a car full of siblings, kush running through my system straight from, swear you ain't never gon' leave if you get a whiff of this, yeah my life is like a movie, nigga, you could get a clip, here they shooting better chip, that mean you should probably dip, any city I don't trip, out here, cause bitch I'm good at where I go, name any hood better nigga I know, headed to the stove for swishes, sweets in the tall, can't Arizona, the sun hot in the sun, nah, where you from better own, throw it up, throw it. Don't wake me up, but I got a £quarter, baby, you can wake me up. All my bitches weigh a buck, 25 buck, 40, born bad like the man straight from all the way turned up, white tee, pair of chucks, let me redesign you. Been that way since high school, nigga and your girl, she been on my dick since high school. I'm sorry if you move, that's cause I been here, Hollywood all the way to the big T, that's where nigga used to get my draw. Then I'm on Sunset, selling night shows. If it ain't table in the bottle ain't going. So much smoke, man, the nigga can't breathe. Have some fun, the big girl don't let stay here.
Yeah. How the hell is that, Pharaoh? You like that or what?
Me back.
Hi. Oh, man. I didn't have the microphone. I'm sorry. Kid Ink, man. I feel like he's very underrated. I feel like we don't hear enough about Kid Ink. I feel like we need to hear more about Kid Ink. You agree?
I definitely do agree. Kid Ink definitely had those bangers.
How about this beat? I love this. Did you see the video of me singing on the hotline? at the Kava bar.
Yeah, that was really funny. I like that.
People love that. People love, well, most of the people there love it. It's 5 in the morning and I'm up having fun sex with you. So horny, and I'm on the hotline. It's funny because, like, I'm the worst singer ever, but I did 2 songs. I did Dirty Pop by NSYNC, which was hard to sing because it's like fast rapping. But I'm like really good when I do the R&B. Like a month ago I did I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna take you down and show you what I'm about. Even though it's kind of frightening when Chris Brown's talking about taking someone down. Like when you listen to it, you think about don't go near him, he's gonna take you down. Like I feel like if Ed Sheeran sang that, it'd be kind of cool. I'm gonna take you down, baby. But I feel like when Chris Brown, who's a wife beater, says I'm gonna take you down, run! Don't go near him.
Yeah, Chris Brown. I don't even know where he's been the past couple of years.
He had that. I feel like his Summer Too Hot wasn't bad, but I feel like it didn't really take off. You didn't really hear about Summer Too Hot. Did you like that song? I liked the first 6-7 times, and then I just was like, meh. Did you like it?
It was all right, none too crazy.
I think Pretty Ricky needs to have a comeback. I saw Pleasure P at the hip hop show last year. I'm telling you, bro, that stuff, like this one right here, if it wants to play. Grind with me. This is how I learned what grinding was. I just learned I can play the music that's of the karaoke because it's not a licensed beat. So you can be hearing a lot of this on the show in the future. Grind with me, take your time with me. We're like the same age. It was like, was your middle school dance parties ratchet? Ours were ratchet, bro.
I remember we used to have like little house parties. Everybody was going out to the house parties, dancing with the girls that were twerking by the wall.
You know who would look hot at the parties? The girls that didn't look good at school. The girls that like kind of woke up late and their hair was messy. They looked bad at the parties.
Super short shorts.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Definitely didn't get their father's approval. 856-49 Hoppe. Now let's see what we have here. We got a few more minutes. Adam Pac-Man Jones. You know who he is?
Who's that?
That football player that's crazy that like beats up people on that. He was thrown off a flight and arrested at airport in Kentucky for intoxication and terroristic threats. And he calls the charges BS. I feel like the terror threats are probably about him like wanting to fight people. Like I feel like when you have CTE, you shouldn't be at the airport. I've known people with CTE, even though they're not dead yet, but like you find out when they're dead.
Really?
CTE is scary, bro. It makes you moody. Like one day someone would, because it's like football players or boxers. One day you can be the life of the party. The next day you are mean, bro. I don't know if you've ever been around that, but I'm telling you, like, football players are crazy, dude. You ever been around one?
Yeah, it's the money.
It's the money. It's the power. It's like they cheat on their wives all the time and then wonder why they're alone at 50. It's just, it's a lot to process. Alex Rodriguez, you know him, the baseball player?
Is that the one who's dating the little 14-year-old?
No, that was, I think that was Wander Franco. No, Alex Rodriguez is the one that did steroids and cheated.
That's all of them, though.
He allegedly ratted out the players to the feds to get out of trouble. So that's good. I'm very surprised someone like Alex Rodriguez that cheats would rat everybody out. I wonder if there were any players that didn't rat them out and that like probably weren't brought back to baseball.
I mean, if they were cheating and also doing drugs, I mean, where's the loyalty in that?
I love that you said loyalty. Britney Spears did have a brief fling with felon ex-housekeeper. She had a felon ex-housekeeper. And she's claiming that they didn't start hooking up until after the romance with her and Sam happened. She literally cheated on her husband with a felon. I don't like Britney Spears, man. I just think I used to feel kind of bad for her, but she was hooking up with someone that had narcotics one time and possession of a firearm. So this was a bad guy. He also has disturbing the peace, child endangerment, and driving without a license. That's the type of guy she was banging and not her husband.
I mean, women love those type of guys. The one that have nothing to offer.
She's a dirty, rotten. You like how I did that? You like how I did that?
Yeah.
I was gonna say she's a dirty, rotten. But I didn't because I turned off the mic because I'm censoring myself. Pharaoh. Nicole Kidman not fazed after Amy Schumer mocks photo of her at U.S. Open as fans accuse cyberbullying, a comedian of cyberbullying. Amy Schumer might be the most grotesque person ever. She literally is just, why are you making fun of people? You're not funny. You're past your prime. She's 42. She's literally past her prime. Like, she's utterly past her prime. She peaked at Trainwreck. Trainwreck came out. Her show was called Inside Amy Schumer. It says enough. Has Apple finally run out of tricks? Fans claim the iPhone 15 looks just like the 14 and that innovation died with Steve Jobs. I agree. Dude, I remember I was in high school and like all the geeks would watch those Steve Jobs videos. Remember when he would announce the iPhone and da-da-da and da-da-da? Not anymore. This headline made me really mad. Colorado State coach Jay Norville slams rival Deion Sanders' attire during interviews. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. Your team sucks! So maybe you should wear a hat and glasses to the press conference. You idiot! Why do you care what Deion Sanders is wearing? He's literally running college football right now. What's Colorado State doing? Nothing! Who's talking about Jay Norville? You loser! You have no control of Colorado. Why would you care what a grown-ass man wears? Focus on your team that sucks. Sorry. And that's the sports talk for me. That's all I know. Can you believe I worked in sports talk?
Yes.
And I
could definitely believe that.
Why? Why do you say that?
You just got that energy.
But I didn't know a thing about sports. It was controversial. People didn't want me there. I was like, sorry, I'm just trying to get away from shock jocks. U.S. inflation up in August. Isn't that great? We have a president that's lying about where he was on 9/11, and also inflation's up. We're just going through the news clips without even going through it. Nelly confirms he and Ashanti are back together.
Ooh, wow.
Living in the
we
past.
have been waiting for this.
Yes, we have. Also, Elon Musk says that he's just welcomed his... See, what happens is when I do a show for an hour, I'm all worked up. I'm sorry. Elon Musk and Grimes confirmed they just welcomed baby number 3. I think he's trying to just have as many kids as possible.
I don't even think they're real. I think they're all robots.
Yeah, well, Elon is a robot. It's called having Asperger's. 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-494-6773. Todd Chrisley and Julie are going to be released from prison early. Good. I'm so glad the rich and the elite are always winning. It makes me feel good about our future. Megan Thee Stallion and Justin Timberlake laugh off feud rumors. I don't think it was a feud as much as I think they probably hooked up. I could see Timberlake hooking up with like Megan.
Of course, because guess what?
Why?
She is just thick. She's thicker than a snicker.
She was better at her lines and WAP were better than
the bongo song?
There's a house in this house. There's some house in this house.
Yeah.
Man, that song was so edgy at the time. Now it's like whatever.
But have you heard the new song with her and Cardi B, the bongo one?
No, I have to.
It's definitely trash.
Experts warn gas prices could be at a rise. I want to see a headline where it's like, we have elected politicians trying to help it go on the low. Everything's about to rise because the news is just manifesting it. Joe Jonas is surrounded by his family after split from Sophie Turner. Well, that's great. Being around your family after a breakup's the worst place to be because they're all going to be like, it's okay. No, you fucked up and your relationship failed. Sorry. Selena Gomez vows to never be a meme again after her reaction at the VMAs. Oh, poor Selena. No wonder she's alone. She annoys me, bro.
You know, she was very flirty with, I don't know who the artist was, but it's that one song that they did that she's on the remix with.
Yeah.
And, they're getting pretty close.
Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian not as friendly as she expects baby number 4. Yeah, their whole relationship, you could definitely tell Scott was a little too close to the situation and jealous. Like, I'll be honest, after a bad heartbreak, the idea of your ex hooking up with somebody else is horrifying. It's not a good feeling. But I can't imagine like having a kid with them. That must suck. You can't just like get rid of your ex. Like, I'm never going to see my ex again. It's beautiful. But imagine if you had a kid. You have to talk to them and look at the man that's banging what you used to bang. Man.
It's rough right there.
It is rough. I'm telling you, man, this planet, man, sometimes I'm glad I'm going to die. Like, this planet needs to reset. Like, I just think we're just doomed. We are definitely doomed. It just feels like nothing's getting better. You literally have a president who's hiding in Alaska. You know what? We just need to make Joe Biden like, what are those guys that hide in igloos? What's that called?
Eskimos.
Yeah. We need to just have him become an Eskimo and go away forever. Have you ever had an Eskimo brother?
Not yet.
Call me later. That was a terrible. I'm not ending on that. I'm trying to like make a joke, but I was not going to make a joke about us being Eskimo brothers. I know people that are within the radio business. There's some radio side chicks that get around. Trust me.
Did you just say radio side chicks?
Yeah. Trust me. Half of Tampa Bay radio is all Eskimo brothers.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
And like that, he's gone.
You know who I'm talking about.